Hello friends, this is your friend back with a new fanfic. What if Naruto was neglected while Naruko and Kushina rose from the shadows? Episode 2. If you like this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's start. Okay then, Naruto said nervously, glancing at the strong and powerful individuals. Who are they, and what will they be teaching me? Well, go on Inari. Introduce the family. Yami joked, making Inari sigh, rubbing the back of his head. Well, first up, we have the resident devil hunter, Sparta, the legendary Dark Knight. Inari said, pointing to the tall, handsome man with blue eyes with a monocle over his left eye, a young face, slicked back white hair, and wearing a purple Victorian trench coat and outfit with a white cravat. He may be a devil from hell, but he hunts his own kind to protect humans. He'll teach you how to counter demonic forces, and be stylish in doing it too. Stylish, Naruto repeated, raising an eyebrow. Anyway, the one talking with him is Raizen, the demon king of Makai. He said, gesturing to the man with long, wild white hair, a long, thin nose, canine teeth, a tattoo below his left eye, a lean yet muscular appearance, and wearing a yellow headband, a yellow obi sash, and white pants. He's classified as a special type of elite demon called a Mazoku. He's the most powerful demon you'll ever come across, and a man of his word. He'll teach you how to manipulate Ryoku and Yuki together. There's a demon king? Naruto asked. There's 3, and he's the most powerful of them all. Inari confirmed, over there meditating with his swords floating around him as Edge Master. Inari said, now pointing to an early man under a tree with white hair, a muscular body and shoulder armor, white pants, and blue and brown boots. Floating around him is Soul Edge and Soul Calibur, one from Algol the Hero King by Edge Master. His will is so powerful, even the blades he wields, Soul Edge and Soul Calibur, can't take him over. He'll teach you how to protect yourself from outside influences, and will help you craft your own soul weapons. He looks reasonable, Naruto noted. He has high expectations for you like the others, especially that man over there. Ryu Hayabusa, the super ninja from the Hayabusa clan of ninjas. Inari said, pointing to the man in a shinobi outfit that crosses over with clothes worn by modern special ops agents. He was covered from head to toe, except his eyes. He'll teach you different ninja tricks not taught in the elemental countries, and ninpo techniques that'll make most dangerous jutsu look like child's play. I never heard of the Hayabusa clan. Naruto said, are they from the elemental countries? Not all ninjas come from the elemental countries, kid. Inari informed him, his former apprentice is around here, but you'll meet her soon enough. I can hardly wait. Naruto said dryly, so who's the guy with the awesome mask? He asked, pointing to the man black armor, brown robes, and a menacing silver and red mask. He's a Jedi Master and former Sith Lord, Revan, the most powerful Force user in his world. Hero, savior, conqueror, villain, he's all these things. He's trained in the ways of the Force, which you will learn from him. Naruto was confused. What is the Force? It's an energy field created by all living things. They say it binds us, it penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. Inari explained, but you learn soon enough. Anyway, that muscle guy there is Mishima Jinpachi, the head of the Mishima family and founder and former leader of the Mishima Zaibatsu. He's the Grand Master of Mishima-style karate, which he will teach you. What is Zaibatsu? It was never covered in the academy. Naruto said, it's a huge company. For example, like the shipping one in Nami no Kuni. Inari explained, I swear, education's lax in Konoha Academy, isn't it? Must be because the council is stealing the money that is supposed to run Konoha for their own ends. Naruto shrugged, it's just a guess. Most power-hungry humans are like that. Inari said, it sounds like a job I can give to your sister, Naruhi-san. I don't think it's. Inari nodded to the man with bright green hair and closed eyes. He was wearing a simple black suit with a white shirt underneath, short brown gloves, brown steel-toed shoes, a pair of black trousers held up by two brown belts, and a black fedora. Right now, he's surrounded by several women who were emitting murderous auras. He'll teach you all about gathering information and getting under people's skin, like he's doing right now with those ladies. Will he be okay? Naruto asked as the women started beating him down. Maybe. Inari shrugged. Enough about him, he'll live. That guy with the heavy cloak is Hiko Seijuro the 13. Inari pointed to the tall man with a somewhat angular face and a phenomenally developed physique. His hair is jet black and long, and usually kept in a ponytail. His attire consists of a set of black pants with European-styled boots, and a short-sleeved shirt, colored blue in the anime and red in the manga. He also wears a floor-length, red and white cloak. He's pretty big for a samurai, Naruto said, noticing the sword strapped to his waist. Appearances can be deceiving, kids. Inari said, he'll teach you his infamous kenjutsu style that even the samurai in the land of iron fear, the hidden Mitsurugi Ryu. I've heard of the style. My sister figure Neko-chan is actually trying to learn it from the books she read on it. Naruto said, then you can teach her, that is if you survive. Inari said, smirking, making Naruto pale. Anyway, the man he's speaking to is Raz Al Ghul, the leader of the League of Shadows. The man talking to Seijuro is a Caucasian man with brown hair with white streaks on both sides, blue eyes, and wearing a black shinobi outfit. He's the Nolan version from Batman. I heard about the League of Shadows. Naruto said darkly, they tried to destroy the elemental countries. What's he teaching me? It's for his personal redemption. Inari explained, sorry, but I really don't know the details. You'll just have to deal with it. He'll be teaching you how to make the shadows and darkness your ally, and philosophy. Joy, Naruto muttered, philosophy from a mass murderer. Don't worry about it. Yami does have him by the balls. Inari assured Naruto, anyway, that guy sitting on the tree is Neo. He said, pointing to the man wearing a black trench coat and black sunglasses. His skin was a pale shade and his hair was black and slicked back. He can manipulate reality. Naruto hoped he heard wrong. In a way, Inari said quickly, he was one of humanity's saviors. He can stop bullets from hitting him, and he can dodge them with his reflexes. He knows every old world martial art there is, and he can fly. Fly, Naruto repeated, he can fly like some of those Iwa shinobi. Faster than them, Inari said, didn't you always want to fly a kit? I'll get back to you on that. That guy's not from this planet, is he? Naruto suddenly said, pointing at the guy in the green futuristic armor. Inari wore a mischievous smile. He's Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, a Spartan II commando of the UNSC Naval Special Warfare Command. He became one of the most important heroes of the UNSC during the Human Covenant War. With nearly 30 years of active duty, he is one of the most decorated war veterans in the United Nations Space Command, and has earned every known medal in the UNSC. At the end of Inari's speech, Naruto's eyes were swirls. Inari roared with laughter, you'll learn about it, kid. You'll learn. Anyway, see that creepy guy over there? The one admitting all that killing intent for no reason. Naruto guessed, unnerved by the man's fighting spirit. He has red hair, sharp, pointed teeth, and is often barefooted. He has tan skin and crimson eyes, and wears a black gi with prayer beads around his neck. He's Akuma of the Satsui no Hado. The only evil guy out in the western lands who follows a moral code. Is that even possible? Naruto asked. Inari shrugged, it is for him. What can I learn from a guy like him? His fighting style and the Satsui no Hado. Personally, the way I see it, you can control and perfect it. I can hardly wait, Naruto said dryly. Inari laughed, and now I save the best for last, the ladies. Off Naruto's confused look, Inari sighed, you understand better when you're an older kid. When you get the talk. Moving on. That nice lady there is Aqua. He said, pointing to the young woman with short, blue hair, ocean blue eyes, and wearing a black and blue, high-collared halter top. Two pink, intersecting belts over her chest, white bell sleeves, a small, segmented piece of armor on each of her upper arms. Tan, fingerless gloves, black shorts, black stockings, and armored shoes. She's a magic-based Keyblade master, and can travel to different worlds. She'll teach you how, as well as light magic to offset the Satsui no Hado skill you'll learn. I'll really be traveling to different worlds? Naruto asked, excited at the prospect. Yep, you gotta be patient though, and that is where that lady meditating comes into play. Inari said, gesturing to the woman with short black hair held up by a white headband, caramel-colored eyes, and wearing a one-piece sleeveless top and long pants with a raven motif and dark-colored sandals. Kazama-jun, a fighter for peace, and the wildlife on this earth loves her. She'll teach you patience, and her fighting style. I thought we Uzumaki are not known for our patience. Naruto protested. It doesn't hurt to keep a cool head. Inari said, trust me, you need it. Besides, meditating's good for ya. Sure, Naruto grumbled, pouting a bit before his face turned red. Inari-san, who's that? Who? Inari turned to see who Naruto was looking at and smirked. Oh, her. She's the most drop-dead sexy succubus you'll ever encounter in this life. Naruto blushed, looking at the bored, beautiful woman with long, light green hair, bat-like wings on her back and the sides of her head, and wearing a black and purple leotard. She's Morrigan Ainsland. Don't worry, because believe it or not, she is one of the good guys. She'll teach you some manners that make you the perfect gentleman, as well as sexual education and seduction techniques to woo the ladies. The latter topics you won't be until you get the talk. Inari said it so creepily, making Naruto gulp nervously. Well, enough with the dirty stuff. The woman that is boring her over there is Jill Valentine, zombie slayer. Inari said, pointing to the woman next to Morrigan. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, and is wearing what looks to be a skin-tight battlesuit. She really knows her bombs, as well as the military CQC style. She even gave some of the shinobi in the elemental countries hell, and that's saying a lot. There are ZZZ zombies. Naruto stuttered, scared, in a certain area of the western lands. Inari explained, they're sealed off in the wastelands, and Jill takes care of the ones who escape. I feel 100% better. Naruto sighed. Anyway, that lady over there makes your dad's speed look like a newborn's crawl. Inari said, gesturing to the slender, dark-skinned woman of average height with golden-colored eyes and long purple hair that she keeps up in a ponytail. Her attire consists of a backless, black sleeveless undershirt, an orange overshirt with two white straps on each shoulder, a large beige sash around her waist, and black stretch pants with a pair of lightweight brown-colored shoes. She's Shihoin Yoruichi, the Flash Goddess. She's one of the fast combatants in this world, and your father's got nothing on her. She'll teach you her famed Shunpo and Soul Reaper-style spells. It'll be awesome, not to mention she's one of Shinigami-chan's favorite Soul Reapers. The next few years are gonna be a lot of fun. Naruto mumbled. Hold your horses there. Not if Miss Killjoy has anything to say about it. Inari said, pointing to the young woman with long, light pink hair, a pair of sunglasses over her pale aqua-colored eyes, and wearing a black armor with red sleeves running down the top of her arms and black gloves, a white cape red on the inside, faults running down the sides of her, gray and red leggings that expose her thighs and knee-high black and red boots and red knee pads, a red shield on her left arm, and a reddish and yellow sword. She looks mean, Naruto noted. Is her name really Miss Killjoy? Nope, that's just my nickname for her. Her name's Eclair Farron, aka Lightning. She's the avatar of Etros, a falsy goddess who's not one of us. She's a different celestial being than the others and me. As for Lightning, she may be cold, but she's actually a cute, fluffy teddy bear. Like a tsundere? Naruto asked innocently, making Inari guffaw with laughter. Yeah, anyway, Lightning will be teaching you elemental and leadership skills. Yes, you might have your own team depending on your profession. And last but not least, there's Battle Instructor Aline. He nodded to the female elf who has blue eyes, silvery, platinum blonde hair with a long braid on left eye of her face, pointed, sensitive ears, and toned body, and wearing a red beret, leather camisole cut off under her chest, gloves that go to her elbows, boots that go to her knees, and a white cloth miniskirt with slits up front of both of her thighs held up with a gold belt with a four-leaf clover motif, padding her backside, buckled with a fancy silver clover buckle, all with flared spikes in a leaf motif around her neck and flowing. Off her back is a red cape with gold trim, cut off into a set of 2 smaller spikes and then 2 larger ones, one of each on each side. As her title implies, she's a fighting instructor, and is over 1,000 years old. She'll teach you strategic combat, and will give you points based on your progress. She's like the others, not to be taken lightly. I can tell, Naruto mumbled before straightening up, but I didn't come out all this way for nothing. I came to be strong to protect my precious people, and to live up to the status of being the avatar of Kami-chan, Yami-chan, and Shinny-chan. I won't know, I will not let them down. Spoken like a true Uzumaki. Inari said, walking over to the group and turning to Naruto, well come on Kit. Naruto grumbled, but complied. You think he's going to be okay? Shinigami asked, concerned as she and her sisters watched Naruto tail behind Inari. He'll be fine, Yami assured her, but I did warn some of them not to go overboard, unless they. They what? Kami asked. Yami smirked, trust me. What I threatened some of them with, you don't wanna know. But we wanna, Kami and Shinigami whined, the latter now interested. There's no way I'm scarring you two for life. Shinigami said, as her 2 sisters continued to badger her, just as Inari reached Naruto's group of hand-picked teachers. Hey there ladies and gentlemen. Inari called out, drawing their attention, how's it hanging? Considering how I'm bored out of my mind talking and fighting with these dimwits, I think I'm doing fine. Hazama said, until Tifa kicked him in the head. Morrigan then noticed Naruto and smirked, so he's the one we're all training. He's cute. Him. Akuma scoffed, he's a runt. The force is strong with him. Revan thought. 1 second later, everyone's eyes widened as Naruto's fist was an inch from Akuma's unflinching form until Yoruichi caught this fist. Whoa there kid, Yoruichi chided, that's some impressive speed, but I'm sure you don't wanna rush to your death just yet, despite your backing with the goddesses. I'm not hiding behind anyone. Naruto said coolly, glaring daggers at Akuma despite shaking at his killing intent. Then, Naruto found himself picked up by the scuff of his shirt by Raizen, meeting him at eye level. Hey, despite your fear, at least you're not a coward. Raizen noted, shaking Naruto roughly. Raizen, let him go, Jun demanded calmly. Fine, Raizen grumbled, dropping Naruto, who landed flat on his butt. We and my sister are expecting him alive when you guys are done with him. Inari told them with a slight threatening tone, so don't screw this up. No promises, Hazama started, but got his jaw rocked by Sparta. You got it, Sparta said, I speak for everyone when I say by the time we're done with his kid in 5 years, he'll be an avatar worthy of the gods, and us. Good, Inari nodded, I would hate to think what happened if Naruto dies and Kamitachi finds out. Everyone shivered as Inari looked at Naruto and said, work hard kid. Naruto nodded, accept nothing less from me then, Inari-san. Inari smirked, excellent. Inari then went over to Kami, Yami, and Shinigami, who were still bickering. Shaking his head, Inari opened a portal around him and the goddesses and disappeared along with them, leaving Naruto with his new teachers. Q-chan, Arwen-chan, Naruto thought, suddenly getting nervous, do you think I made the right choice in coming here? Of course you did, Arwen said, remember, you have a storm to face in a few years. Define storm, Q deadpanned, not to mention getting payback on that bastard Namikaze Minato, Naruto-sama. Yukikaze piped up, right, Naruto grumbled as he faced this teacher, who grinned at him. Well then, our young apprentice. Raz Al Ghul said, no doubt Inari told you about us, but he only told us little about you aside from you being the avatar of the gods, so use his free day we're giving you to tell us about yourself." Naruto nodded, and started to explain about himself and the life he led. Konoha, 1 week after Naruto escaped. Hokage's office. Namikaze Minato was pacing back and forth in his office, going through the booklet titled Project K. This past week was devoted to figuring out why his son left his beloved village and how the hell he defeated one of the 3 legendary Sannin and the son of the infamous White Fang. What's mind-boggling is that Naruto's only 9 years old. 9 years old, and he managed to put them in the hospital. Hokage-sama. Minato turned to the Anbu. "What is it?" "The council have convened, and are awaiting your arrival. Also, Jiraiya-sama and Jonin Kakashi have finally awakened. They're being checked over by Tsunade-sama right now, but they heard about the meeting and insist on being there to give their report." "Thank you, Bear. You are dismissed." When the bear-masked Anbu left, Minato closed the Project K book, and placed it in a safe behind his picture. "I don't know what you're thinking, Naruto, but you should have played your role like the puppet you were." Minato growled as he left his office, "But no matter. Your leaving is only a minor setback." Uzumaki Namikaze Estate. It was a foreign experience for Naruhi, as we find her in the kitchen with her little sisters, Narumi and Tsubaki. They were making ramen for Kushina, who didn't come out of the basement for a week. So Naruhi took it upon herself to make meals for her, and Narumi and Tsubaki helped out, to Naruhi's slight chagrin. But for some reason, Naruhi didn't mind. When Naruhi returned to Konoha with her mother in her arms, Makoto, Narumi, and Tsubaki hounded her, demanding to know what happened and why Kushina was unconscious. After leading them to her room and locking the door along with activating the sound barrier jutsu, Naruhi revealed everything that went down with her, Naruto, and Kushina. At first, the 2 redheads were angry that Naruhi knew that their brother was leaving and Naruhi stopped their mother from stopping Naruto, but Makoto understood and told Narumi and Tsubaki that they're part of the reason why Naruto left in the first place, making them cry, realizing that she was right. Over the week, Minato was busy with his Hokage duties and looking for Naruto. Naruhi can disagree with that, because the day after Naruto escaped, Naruhi snuck into the Hokage's office to find it a wreck, like someone had a major temper tantrum. One thing's for sure, Naruhi was not cleaning up the mess. As for Kushina, she's been walking around the house like a zombie, doing absolutely nothing until she locked herself in the basement after the first day. When Minato would return home, he would try to talk to Kushina, only to receive silence in return. He would try to Hiraishin into the basement, but Kushina had destroyed the seals in the room. Right now, Naruhi just finished making the ramen with her sisters. Honesty, she has had enough of her mother's solitude, and she was going to find out what her mother was doing all this time. "Do you think Ka-san's all right?" Tsubaki asked as she, Tsubaki, and Naruhi with food in hand, headed down to the basement. "She hasn't eaten in a week. She's a shinobi little sis." Naruhi told her. "In the academy, we're been trained to last 3 weeks without food and 1.5 weeks without water. They could teach us more, but the civilian council's taking money that is supposed to be used for the academy for improving the curriculum." I eavesdropped on the teachers talking about it. Narumi piped up. "Well, that explains a lot." Naruhi grumbled. "No doubt our dear Two-san's letting them get away with it." "But why would he do that?" Tsubaki asked. "He's supposed to be the best Hokage Konoha's ever had." "You'll be surprised," Naruhi said, shaking her head. "What do you mean by that?" Narumi asked, tilting her head in a cute way. "You'll find out soon enough, my little sister," Naruhi assured her as she and her sisters stopped in front of the door to the basement. "Hold this please." Naruhi handed the tray of food to Narumi and took out her lockpick tools. Grabbing 2 tools, she began to work her magic. "You sure you can break it?" asked a concerned Narumi. These locks were made in the land of snow after all. Finding the sweet spot, Naruhi destroyed the lock with one jerk, and quietly opened the door to find Kushina topless and tagging a punching bag furiously with no protection for her hands, lost in her memories and tears in her eyes. Suddenly, Kushina screamed as she dealt one final punch, punching the bag clean off its hinges and into a wall. Panting heavily, she turned to get another punching bag when she found her daughters at the door. "Ka-san, that's enough," Naruhi said, striding her to her. "There'll be nothing left of your hands if you keep doing what you're doing." "I know, but," Kushina just shook her head, "I've gotten so weak. And that damn seal Minato Tem put on me made me a failure of a mother." "Ka-san," Narumi and Tsubaki asked in shock. Why did she insult their father like that? Then again, he's mostly responsible for Naruto's attitude towards them. "No kidding," Naruhi said, as she led Kushina to the nearby sofa and pushed her down on it, "but for now, eat, because I've got something to reveal to you all." "Before you do," Kushina said weakly, "can you take me to his room?" Naruhi growled but sighed, "Fine, but you gotta eat first. I'm not about to let you stumble down the stairs." Nodding, Kushina accepted the food from Narumi and began to down it. She didn't realize it, but she really was starving. Council chambers, a while later. "Kakashi. Jiraiya-sama, thank you for coming," Minato said. "No problem, my favorite student." Jiraiya said, "We just felt that as soon as we've awakened, that you and the others need to get the information we have on Naruto as soon as possible." "What possible information could you have on the demon?" asked a civilian council member, making the clan heads and one of the elders, the former Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, scowl at the stupid council member. "Yeah, how is it that a 9-year-old academy student managed to defeat two of the greatest shinobi in the village?" asked another civilian council member. "Before I answer that, I have to tell you, Minato." Jiraiya took a deep breath before dropping the bombshell. "Your son Naruto is the true child of prophecy." "What?" Minato stood up, shocked as everyone's eyes widened. "How can that be? You said that Narumi or Tsubaki could be the child of prophecy, not Naruto. They don't bear the marks of Kami, Yami, and Shinigami like Naruto does sensei." Kakashi said, "And he's not just an ordinary 9-year-old child. It looks like he's been training in secret, for he mastered your two jutsu, the Rasengan and the Hiraishin." Minato's jaw dropped. That can't be. Not only that, but he has an animal partner in the form of a fox. He knows the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, and knows Fuinjutsu, for he released a few levels of his gravity and resistance seals, making him faster than an average Jonin." Jiraiya reported, "In all honesty, I think he showed off a bit of his power and strength, and is hiding more. Who knows how long he's been training, because he did something you're still working on, and that is using the Odama Rasengan with the Hiraishin." "Damn," Minato muttered. "How much power was Naruto hiding? There's no way he can let him roam free." "Minato," Hijirin spoke up, "I know that you're thinking, but you can't put your son into the bingo book. He didn't graduate from the academy, thus making him an unregistered shinobi." Minato growled, knowing the old monkey was right. "What will we do now?" asked a member of the Shinobi Advisory Board, Mitokado Homura. "With that demon on the loose, he may come back for your daughters to get his powers back." "He won't, because he's not the Kyuubi." Hiruzen snapped. "If he is, then why didn't he get his powers back first before escaping? Still, we should put them on 24/7 Anbu watch." Udatain Kaharu, another member, suggested, "And what about the hunter Nin sent after him? They still haven't found him yet. And 24/7 surveillance won't be necessary." Minato said, "For now we'll have a 10-minute recess, then we'll decide the fate of Naruto since he holds the soul of Kyuubi and is the child of prophecy. This would never have happened if you'd been a proper father, Minato." The Inuzuka matriarch, Inuzuka Sume, snarled as she got up and stormed out of the room. "Troublesome." The head of the Nara clan, Nara Shikaku said, frowning at the current Hokage, "I speak for the clan heads, save for the Uchiha, when I say that Sume-san has a valid point." With that, the clan heads filed out of the room, without sparing Minato another glance. Uzumaki Namikaze Estate, Naruto's former room. Ka-san, you've been avoiding everyone this past week. What's on your mind? Naruhi asked. I was just looking back on my behavior while that loyalty seal was on my neck. Kushina said, and well, the memories made you so angry that you were beating up on that core punching bag. Naruhi guessed, making Kushina nod. I really thought Minato loved me, and now I found out that he put that seal on me after he rescued me from those Kumo nin. It wasn't a complete loyalty seal, but it was enough to make me a fangirl back then. He's been enforcing it every year. Naruhi confirmed, and when he defeated Kyuubi, there wasn't any need for enforcing the seal, because in your fangirl mind, he's all-powerful, and he always knows what's best. Kushina grabbed her hair in frustration. I know. Me being influenced by the loyalty seal, that was not the real me. I would have never ignored all my children. I remember Minato telling me to only focus on Narumi and Tsubaki, but if the seal wasn't on me, I would have told that fool to go to hell, married or not. Naruhi sighed, but happy that her mother was showing her true self, and it's better than her, wife of the Hokage-like, personality. Ka-san, why would Tu-san do that to you? Narumi asked. I don't know, but whatever the reason, it stems back to his genin days. Kushina grumbled, as Tsubaki noticed a small book on Naruto's desk. She went over and took the book, opening it to find that it was Oni-chan's journal, she said, drawing the others' attention. Naruto keeps a journal? Kushina asked, surprised as Tsubaki handed it to her and began to read it with her and Narumi. Naruhi didn't need to read it. Instead, she took out the book entitled Project K, and waited for them to finish reading. Konoha Playground. At the playground were Naruto's friends, the shy Hyuga Hinata, the aggressive Hyuga Hisana, the gossip Yamanaka Ino, the reserved Yamanaka Kyoto, the book-smart Haruno Sakuya, the feisty Inagami Akira, the weapon-loving Higurashi Tenten, and the Uchiha Princess Uchiha Satsuki, hanging around with Naruto's letters in their hands detailing his feelings for them and why he left Konoha. I'm bored, Ino wailed. Well, get used to it. Naruto-kun isn't here anymore thanks to his loving parents. Hisana snapped. I just can't believe the Hokage would do that. Tenten said, I thought with him being the Hokage, he would want all his children to be strong like them. Yeah well, Sakuya shrugged, there's a lot of things we don't know, and quite honestly, I knew something was going on. You did? Tenten asked. When? Come on guys. It's elementary. Naruto-kun kept getting attacked, and his dad did nothing to stop it. Sakuya explained, plus, I've seen some of those people still walking around the village even though we've seen them getting hauled off to prison. The others couldn't deny it. Sometimes when they look for Naruto they've seen him with Naruhi, Itachi, or the others, while Anbu takes the mob to torture and interrogation. Now that they think about it, sometimes they've seen some of the same faces. Only the Hokage can get someone out of prison. Kyoko said quietly. But why would he do that? Hisana snapped, grabbing her hair in frustration. Because everyone thinks he's Kyuubi. Akira said, making everyone look at her. Naruto-kun only housed the soul, so no doubt everyone thinks he's the fox. How do you know that? Ino asked. Because his scent is similar to a fox's. It's the only explanation. Akira shrugged, and somehow, Naruto-kun's status was revealed to the public. The Hokage did tell everyone what happened to the chakra, but not the soul. And no one can kill a Biju. Sakuya added, they may be demons, but they were originally made of chakra. The girls fell silent to ingest what Sakuya said. It still doesn't change my feelings for them. Hinata piped up after a long pause, demon or no demon, I love Naruto-kun, just like all of you, she said with a blush, making the others blush furiously. Ha ha ha, where do you get that idea? Tenten laughed nervously, but knew Hinata had her and the others there. All we can do now is wait for his return, Satsuki said, finally speaking, and when he does, I'm sure he'll fix what's broken, and stick it to his prick of a father. You know, me and Itachi knees now wondering who's worse, Naruto's father, or our own. Tai. The other girls deadpanned, making Satsuki sweat drop. Uzumaki Namikaze Estate. Naruhi was on Naruto's patio, watering the flowers that he grew there with a small water jutsu. She has to admit, aside from running pranks, he's pretty good at gardening. Another best-kept secret, little brother? Naruhi asked, smiling to herself. Another reason why she's outside is that her mother and her two little sisters were currently crying their eyes out while reading Naruto's journal, detailing the pain Naruto felt by the loneliness and ignorance, how he felt when they ignore him and favored Narumi and Tsubaki, how the villagers beat him in his birthday, and finally how he had enough. It also details how he met Kyuubi and another beast in them called Arwen, who's a dragon, much to the girls' surprise. It was even more of a surprise at how Kyuubi was actually a vixen, and how she revealed what really happened on the night of her attack, and what would happen if Narumi and Tsubaki used Kyuubi's chakra. Narumi and Tsubaki would have gone berserk if they used more than 2 tails. How could I miss that? Kushina groaned in her head, I'm one of the top seal masters in the elemental countries above Jiraiya. And more importantly, how could Minato miss that? I know he created the Hiraishin, but even a seal master like him would not have missed that. The journal also explained Naruto's relationship with Kyuubi, Arwen, his sister Naruhi, Itachi, Yugao, Kurenai, Enko, Hana, Hayate, Gemma, Ibiki, Makoto, and how they all trained and took care of him. Kushina was amazed at some of the words Naruto used since he was so young when he wrote in the journal, and was even more surprised that the plush fox she saw was actually a real fox Naruto saved. There was also a shocking revelation that made their eyes widen. He had feelings for his 2 little sisters, but their attitudes kept him at bay. Him too, Narumi and Tsubaki said, with Kushina raising an eyebrow at them, and making them blush the same color as their hair and dive under Naruto's bed, squealing. But then, there was one entry that alarmed Kushina. Shit just got real. I just returned from the Hokage's office following a prank on the Anbu guarding it, and found a book called Project K. After skimming through it, I'm now madder than a female catching a peeping Tom in the hot spring on a hot afternoon, and that's put it lightly. The marriage between my mom and Minato might as well be false. How could he do this to his own children, to my sisters, Narumi and Tsubaki? Now I understand why he focuses on the 2. I should tell Ka-san, but I don't know if she's in on it or not, given her belief that Minato Tem's always right. She might even think I'm jealous and discipline me. Once I'm finished with his entry, I should know, not yet. I should tell Naruhi first. Wow, what? Kushina was shocked. Project K. Her and Minato's marriage might as well be false. Narumi and Tsubaki. What's going on? She wondered as she turned a page. Naruhi knows about it. At first I thought she was in on it, but now it explains why she always glares at Minato Tem with hatred behind his back. I even saw her on multiple occasions fighting the urge to gut the temple with her hidden blade, when he and Ka-san kiss sometimes. Now I know, but that's beside the point. From now on, I'll be training like a beast. Namikaze Minato is gonna pay for what he's doing to my clan, the Uzumaki clan. And no matter how long it takes, that a promise. Naruhi. Kushina screamed, making Narumi and Tsubaki's heads bump on the bed as Naruhi came in. Finish crying, Ka-san. Naruhi asked as Narumi and Tsubaki crawled out from under the bed, holding their heads. What is it? What's going on? What's Minato planning? What's Project K? What does it have to do with Narumi and Tsubaki? Kushina asked at a fast pace, shaking Naruhi, who now had swirly eyes. Slow down, Naruhi moaned. When she recovered, her face, voice, and posture took on a serious tone as she whipped out the book Project K. I got this from the bastard's office since he'll be stuck in meetings all day today. She said, since you no longer have the seal on you and your mind's clear, it's time for you to learn about Project K, planned by half of the council and supported by your husband, Namikaze Minato. And girls, since your feelings for me and my brother are clear, you deserve to know. She tossed the book to Kushina, who caught it. Why do I feel that our lives are about to change when we read this? Kushina mused as Narumi and Tsubaki sat on either side of her. Trust me, you'll be glad that you did. Naruhi assured her, locking the door and activating the sound barrier jutsu, as Kushina opened the book and began to read. Project, Kyuubi, Council Chambers. So, what are you going to do, Hokage-sama? One of the civilians asked. I've decided to get the Fire Daimyo's assistance in the matter. Only he can approve Naruto's place in the bingo book so that we can find him. Minato said. Are you sure he can do it? The one-eyed warhawk, Shimura Danzo, asked. He may ask too many questions on why. Minato sighed. Leave him to me. I'm sure he'll do it since he's a friend of mine. Good luck with that, successor. Hiruzen thought. Besides, from what I found out by accident, one of the Fire Daimyo's wives is descended from the Uzumakis before their fall. And the daimyo's not like those other daimyos who'll just bend over. Sigh, I have a bad feeling about this. Just then, Minato sneezed twice, jerking Hiruzen out of his thoughts. I'm okay, he said, waving it off. Someone may be talking about me. Maybe Aiwa, he said with a light laugh, while thinking of another excuse he'll tell Kushina. Uzumaki Namikaze estate. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill all those bastards. The whole estate shook when Kushina had just finished reading Project K, and man was she pissed. As for Narumi and Tsubaki, they were mad as well, but with tears in their eyes. I think they're taking it quite well. Naruhi mused, as she watched her mother emitted massive quantities of sake killing intent. In a nutshell, during the days of the Nadaime Hokage, some of the higher-ups in Konoha aside from the Hokage started to let the fame from the previous war get to their heads, so they wanted absolute power for the village. They've seen how strong the Uzumaki clan is thanks to the Shidaime Hokage's wife, Uzumaki Mito, the first Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, so they wanted the clan to move and stay in Konoha. But the clan refused, opting to form an alliance instead. But after the fall of Whirlpool by Kiri, Kumo, and Iowa forces, the only known survivor was Kushina, who was saved from the slaughter by Jiraiya. After Kyuubi was transferred from the dying Mito to Kushina, she was enrolled in Konoha Academy, and placed in the same class as Minato so that they can be friends and he can seduce her. And since he wanted to make the village strong by becoming Hokage, he's the perfect candidate. And by him saving Kushina from the Konoha nin disguised as Kumo nin, she became infatuated with him, just as planned. But just to be on the safe side, a loyalty seal was put on Kushina the same night she was rescued. From their union, Naruhi, Naruto, Narumi, and Tsubaki were born. The first child, Naruhi, showed great promise, but didn't have much of the Kyuubi's chakra within her system, so she's unfit to be the strong one, just like her brother Naruto, who his father sealed the Kyuubi's soul into. So they'll be used as scapegoats. As for Narumi and Tsubaki, they were a blessing for Project K since they were the youngest, and had the Kyuubi's chakra sealed within them after the Kyuubi was set free from Kushina and attacked, with Minato defeating it. Somehow, Kushina survived, so as a backup, she can be used for Project K's contingency plan. Now all the high-ups have to do is to wait for the next phase of the plan, which is to turn Narumi and Tsubaki into baby factories so that they can produce strong shinobi with the strongest shinobi for the future of Konoha. And that's Project K in a nutshell. Now Kushina had murder in her eyes, and leapt up from the bed to leave the room, but two pairs of hands stopped her. It was Narumi and Tsubaki. Don't Ka-san. If you attack now, know that man might pull a fast one and turn you and us into mindless drones with his seals. Narumi said, holding tight to her mother's arm. She's right. Tsubaki said, we already lost our brother. We don't want you and Oni-chan either. The rage disappeared from Kushina's eyes when her youngest daughters got through to her. She wanted so badly to get at her so-called husband, but if something happened, Narumi, Tsubaki, and even Naruhi will be at Minato's mercy. She wasn't about to let that happen. Over her dead body. Well, Ka-san. Got a plan, because we can't stay here any longer. Naruhi said. With Naruto gone, Minato might alter the plans since Naruto cut loose the strings he had on him. What time is it? Kushina asked suddenly. It's 3:30 p.m. Why? Naruhi answered, frowning. It's more than enough time. Kushina said, everyone, you have 2 hours to pack your things. We'll be leaving at 6, because we will not stay in this place any longer. But how? Tsubaki asked. How will we carry all of our stuff? That's the beauty of Fuinjutsu, my Masumi. Kushina smiled. You just pack a month's worth of rations in a scroll, or on your skin, she explained to Narumi and Tsubaki's surprised faces. Where are we going? Naruhi asked, interested as the ladies left Naruto's room. To cash in a favor in the fire capital. Besides, when my friend there learns of this travesty, Konoha's gonna be in for a rude awakening, and Minato Tem will be too late to prevent the shitstorm that'll follow. What language? Naruhi, Narumi, and Tsubaki thought Kushina's hair took a similar appearance to Kyuubi's 9 tails. Uzumaki Namikaze Estate, 12 a.m. Minato entered the estate, relieved that the meetings were over. But when he entered the house, he could barely sense his daughter's presence. Concerned, he entered the living room, only to find Kushina sitting there in a sofa and looking at him with dead eyes and folded arms, making him sigh, knowing what it was about. Kushina-chan, he started. Enough Minato. I've already predicted what you're going to say. Kushina said with a falsely sweet voice, that your hunter Nin couldn't find our son, so stop wasting my time. This confused Minato greatly. Kushina never acted like this, so what's going on? Was her patience wearing thin? Kushina-chan, are you okay? Minato asked. Who am I? Kushina laughed. Oh, I'm actually feeling great. Real peachy. A shower and a cup of water later and my mind's clearer than today's sky. That cryptic comment made Minato nervous, which unfortunately showed on his face, making Kushina smile more. Look, I'm sorry for telling you that we have to ignore Naruto and Naruhi, but it's for the best for the village. I agree. Kushina nodded, which is what I would have said if I was my old self, Minato-kun. Now Minato was alarmed. Kushina was not acting like herself. She was supposed to be a lovesick fangirl, who never objected to anything he said, truth or lie. Could it be that the loyalty seal's losing its power? If so, then he's got to fix it to keep Kushina to his side, otherwise Project K's plans are going to be flushed down the toilet, and Konoha's standing as number 1 of the 5 most powerful villages in the elemental countries will be put in jeopardy. Listen to me Kushina, as the Hokage and your husband. 1 second later, Minato was on his knees, singing soprano while holding his manbits. He looked up to see Kushina, her hair in Kyuubi mode while her face was distorted in rage, and her eyes suddenly shimmering, turning purple with ripples in her eyes. How dare you? You are not a husband or a father. You take me for a fool. You put a loyalty seal on me, and married me to control my clan, the Uzumaki clan. And you plan on turning your own daughter into the village's weapons and use them for breeding stock. She charged her hand with chakra and slapped Minato, breaking his jaw and sending him from the living room into the kitchen. Impossible. How did Kushina find out about the seal, about my plans for Narumi and Tsubaki? It's only documented in the book. Minato thought, as Kushina stepped into the kitchen. He tried to get up but, I can't move, he thought, panicking. Don't bother. I've put a temporary paralysis seal on you. Kushina informed him, I know for a fact that you are not under a genjutsu, which means it's all you. You never loved me, or our children, and no matter what, you put the village first. Some family man you are. She spat. Kushi, he wheezed, but Kushina kicked him in the face. Shut up, because I've got news for you. From now on, it's Uzumaki-sama to you, because our marriage is over. As for Narumi, Tsubaki, and Naruhi, I'm taking them with me. There's no way in hell I'm leaving them with you after what I've learned from your little Project K plan. She snarled. Minato thought he was going to have a heart attack. He and the higher-ups in Konoha have found out. Now he can't let Kushina leave, no matter what. If you think they'll let you leave, you're mistaken Kushina. he growled while trying to move, "I just use force to get your memories erased and turn you back into the loyal puppy you were before. And my daughters will see my way." That got him a sharp, painful kick to the sternum, sending him into a tree in the backyard area, where Kushina followed menacingly. Big words for someone who was restricted by a paralysis seal. Kushina taunted, "Some genius you are. You have no power over me or my children anymore." Kushina then picked up Minato and leaned him on the eye, glaring at him with hatred. "This is from your daughters, Naruhi, Narumi, and Tsubaki," she said, then kneed Minato in his nutsack hard, 3 times. Due to the paralysis seal, he couldn't cradle his balls, and instead squealed in pain. "And this is from me and more importantly, Naruto," Kushina screamed, punching him twice in the face, flooring him. Stomping her foot on Minato's chest and digging into it, Kushina sneered, "You must be in pain, sweetheart. Now you know how I felt when I learned of the lie you crafted. But don't worry, you'll be able to patch yourself up once I dispel." At Minato's confused, then shocked look, Kushina laughed loudly, "You really think she's that stupid theme? I'm just a shadow clone. Boss and the kids have left hours ago while you were busy with your little problem. They should be in the fire capital now, where the fire daimyo no doubt have already approved of yours and boss's divorce. Expect a summons from the fire daimyo later in the afternoon. Have a nice day, Namikaze Minato Tem." Giving a mock salute followed by a one-gun salute, Kushina's shadow clone dispelled, as just the paralysis seal wore off, finally allowing Minato to cradle his aching balls, and let out a roar of rage in the process. Fire capital, forest area. The real Kushina breathed out a sigh of relief. She and her daughter managed to make it to the fire capital, and got an audience with the fire daimyo. Long story short, he was pissed when the Uzumakis presented the Project K book, along with a bonus Naruhi didn't tell the others about, the Black Book of Konoha that detailed the village's dirty dealings found in a compartment under the table of the council chambers. Make no mistake that the fire daimyo's going to be having a personal meeting with the Hokage in his office real soon. "So, you're finally alone." Right now, Kushina was by herself in the woods, turning to the source of the voice. "You," she growled, taking out her Uzuken, "you've been plaguing me in my head all this week." "Who exactly are you?" There was a shrill laugh, then the sound of footsteps in front of Kushina. What came from the shadows was not what Kushina was expecting. "No," she muttered, "how? You're not a shadow clone. Why do you look like me?" The figure who looked like Kushina smirked, opening her eyes to reveal yellow eyes. "Why do I like you?" The doppelganger taunted, "Because I am you, you baka, and I'm looking to have some fun with myself, me-chan." Kushina stepped back frightened, as Shadow Kushina gave off an evil laugh, drawing a distorted version of Kushina's Uzuken. "Because I am a shadow. The true self. A.N. I was gonna be the Grinch and end it here, but I'm in a giving mood, and it's Christmas. Times KIP, Western Lands, Naruto's homestead mansion, October 10, 4 years later. The years have definitely been kind to Naruto physically after he finished training with the teacher Kami, Yami, and Shinigami choose for Naruto. He just turned 13, he's now 5 foot 7 inches, and has a lean yet muscular body. His whisker marks were thinner, and his blonde hair now had a few red strands. But it did not come without sacrifice, as the last 4 years have been hell as Inari, Yami, and his teachers guaranteed. That and the teacher abused Naruto's shadow clone jutsu to the max. Sparta held no bullets back when it came to training. He had Naruto fight many demons ranging from lesser to greats while teaching him his weapons fighting style. He even took him to a couple of demonic lairs to collect the devil arms his sons lost during a fight with Mundus's descendant. Naruto surprised Sparta by retrieving and returning them to Sparta so that they'll get back to Dante, Virgil, and Nero. Naruto also crafted guns similar to Sparta and Dante's, also calling them ebony and ivory. He also now owns his own devil arm, a copy of Dante's rebellion called Soul Rebellion that can turn into an angelic scythe named Osiris, and a demonic axe named Arbiter. Sparta's final test for Naruto was a 1-on-6 battle with Naruto battling Dante, Trish, Lady, Virgil, Lucia, and Nero. The fight was rough, but from the jaws of defeat, Naruto managed to eke out a win by using a shadow clone to nick Dante's Pandora Devil arm from him and went hog wild with it, and nearly used the Omen attack, forcing Dante and the others to surrender, gaining Sparta's seal of approval. Raizen showed no mercy, and set his expectation bar extremely high. Not only did he teach Ryoku and Yuki manipulation and techniques, he supervised Naruto's training exercises, and gave a strict warning that if Naruto fails to do the set amount of exercises, he would spend a day in Makai with no weapons, tools, or protection. It was enough to make even the females faint. However, Raizen was surprised that Naruto managed to do 1,000 of everything, push-ups, sit-ups, etc., and not get sent to Makai. It wasn't easy, but Naruto barely managed to impress Raizen. Raizen's final test involved him taking Naruto to Makai for a 1-on-1 fight between them. Naruto found out firsthand why Raizen was called the Demon King, and was losing badly. But luck smiled on Naruto when he started to use Arwen's chakra, and attracted a dark flame dragon, and sealed it into his arm. After forming a contract with the dragon, who was revealed to be a female, Naruto used the Dragon of the Darkness flame attack empowered by Arwen's chakra to break through Raizen's demon gun attack to defeat him, and gained his seal of approval. Edge Master bought many weapons for Naruto to use. While Naruto was skeptical at using so many weapons that were not swords, Edge Master convinced Naruto that he may not be able to use only swords, and staffs, ring blades, lances, and other weapons can turn the tide of battle if he uses them right. He also taught Naruto weapons crafting, a skill that allowed Naruto to create his own ebony and ivory handguns. Edge Master's final test was for Naruto to create his own soul weapons and use them to defeat Algol, the Hero King. So Naruto used part of his soul to create Soul Ravager and Soul Requiem, and climbed the Tower of Remembrance to face off against Algol. The battle was fierce and at times would go either way, but Naruto used an afterimage to make Algol think he won, then knocked him off the tower, defeating him and gaining Edge Master's seal of approval. Ryu Hayabusa simply expanded on Naruto's shinobi training by teaching him the Hayabusa-style ninjutsu and taijutsu. During the training, Naruto would tell Ryu about the shinobi skills at Konoha, and Ryu noted that the upcoming shinobi there are missing out on a lot. Ryu would also take Naruto out on missions with him, and one time, Naruto had to save Ryu from the grip of murder curse on his arm. Ryu's final test was for Naruto to hunt down a missing nin from a Mugen Tenshin shinobi village named Raizen, who survived death dealt from a former missing nin. Naruto had an array of problems when Raizen copied some of Naruto's chakra-based techniques. So Naruto improvised and used Q's chakra he gained from her before she left to attack Raizen, with Raizen unable to copy the move, ending with his death and gaining Ryu's seal of approval. Revan taught Naruto various force powers and all forms of lightsaber combat skills, Jedi and Sith style. Like Revan suspected when he first saw Naruto, Naruto was a natural. Revan could only mused what would happen if Naruto was born on a different planet and decided to become a Jedi or a Sith. He also taught Naruto how to construct a lightsaber, and when Naruto constructed his own, he built 2 waterproof, dual-phase, curved-hilted lightsabers with one blade being white with a black core and the other blade being silvery white. The hilts are specially designed to attach together to create a double-bladed lightsaber. Revan's final test for Naruto was the Jedi Trials. The first 3 trials, skill, courage, and flesh, involved Revan fighting Naruto as a full Jedi, a full Sith, and a Dark Jedi respectively. After the trials of flesh when Revan cut of Naruto's hands, Naruto blacked out from the pain to complete the trials of spirit and insight, in which Naruto faced off against his dark self and shadow self, with the latter allowing Naruto to receive a new power unlike any other, and gain Revan's seal of approval after his hands regenerated. Mishima Jinpachi, on the other hand, tested Naruto first by dropping them off a cliff and seeing if he can climb back up without using chakra. Naruto managed to successfully do so, while listening to Q's rant about ripping Jinpachi's head off. Jinpachi was relieved that Naruto made it, but was surprised that Naruto didn't hate his guts for it. He taught Naruto his family fighting style, the Mishima fight karate style, and sometimes wished that Naruto was his son and not Heihachi. Hazama was not pleasant to be around. He was constantly belittling Naruto, and reminding him about the hell he suffered in Konoha. The day Naruto snapped, Hazama explained that he was only riling Naruto up so that he can be immune to others trying to use psychological warfare to get under his skin. Now that Naruto understood, he started counter-trolling Hazama, his words impressing the god of trolls himself. In addition, he taught Naruto how to gather information discreetly, and how to draw on the power known as the Azure, allowing them to use an item called the Azure Grimoire. Hazama's final test was for Naruto to find and defeat the Mad Dog Azrael from an organization called Sector 7. During the fight, Naruto had Azrael on the ropes until the latter released his seal known as Enchant, Dragonov, that caused Naruto all kinds of problems and forced him to retreat. Hazama later revealed that Naruto was not meant to win, but to gather information on Azrael, and which Naruto succeeded with flying colors. After Hazama gave Naruto his seal of approval, Naruto summoned several shadow clones to beat the crap out of Hazama. Seijuro Hiko acted as though he didn't want to teach Naruto due to the fear he'll be like his previous wayward student, Himura Kenshin, aka Batosai the Manslayer. When Naruto learned about Hiko's relationship with Kenshin, Naruto grabbed a katana and attacked Hiko while yelling at him that he was not Kenshin. He is Naruto of the Uzumaki clan. That was enough to get Hiko to relent and finally teach Naruto the hidden Mitsurugi Ryu-style Kenjutsu. Hiko's final test was simple. Naruto had to overcome Hiko's Kuzuriasen 9-head dragon flash that would kill him. Naruto was rooted to the spot by Hiko's Saki and was nearly hit until Naruto remembered that he can't die yet and combined all his Batojutsu training to perform the Amakakuru Ryu no Hurameki Heaven's Bridging Dragon Spark to overcome Hiko's attack. Hiko thought he died until he put a genjutsu over the katana he was using, revealing it to be a Sakabato reversed blade sword katana he crafted. Despite being peeved that Naruto cheated him out of death, Hiko gave Naruto his seal of approval. Ra's al Ghul worked with Naruto mostly in the darkness of a cave, and exposed him to a psychotropic hallucinogenic drug that showed disturbed images of what Naruto fears. To Ghul's surprise, Naruto was barely affected by the drug, and adapted to the darkness well, gaining night vision in the process. He also taught Naruto philosophy and his feelings about injustice, sometimes triggering arguments about the latter subject. Ghul's final test was for Naruto to find and subdue him in the wave of a cloaked shinobi in the darkness while under the effects of the hallucinogenic drug. Ghul underestimated Naruto after he attacked Naruto, leaving a scar. Naruto injured the other shinobi in the same place and fooled Ghul, making him surrender. Ghul would have tried to induct Naruto if it hadn't been for Yami watching the proceedings, and instead have Naruto his seal of approval. Neo built a machine specifically for Naruto that allows him to load information into his brain, similar to what he experienced during his training days. Thanks to it, Neo uploaded several programs into Naruto's brain that allowed Naruto to learn what he calls the Matrix Fist, that consist of Kung Fu styles, Kempo styles, Judo, Savate, Jiu-Jitsu, Karate, Eskrima, Drunken Boxing, Taekwondo, Wushu, and other Old World styles. Even after learning the Matrix Fist, Naruto insisted on sparring with Neo from time to truly master the Matrix Fist. Neo even taught Naruto a gravity-style version of his superhuman powers, even teaching him how to fly. Neo's final test for Naruto is for him to take on several waves of Neo's cloned archenemy, Agent Smith. Naruto used every simple martial art he learned to kill the clones, until they combined to form a giant Agent Smith, forcing Naruto to take to the skies. But to his surprise, the battle was easy as he delivered a rider kick that broke the giant Smith to little pieces, earning Neo's seal of approval. Master Chief's final test for Naruto is for him to destroy a base in the western lands that's run by the insurrection. During Naruto's raid on the base, it became a three-way battle when Project Freelancer crashed the party. Everything was in disarray, but managed to gather some information the insurrection had on Project Freelancer's illegal AI experiments to give to the Master Chief. Master Chief was impressed and was thankful for the information, giving Naruto his seal of approval. Akuma did not pull his punches with Naruto, who has the scars to prove it, but made sure the training was not extreme enough to get himself in the crosshairs with Yami. He first taught Naruto the basics of the Ansatsuken, then his own style. He even had Naruto run mountainous courses for hours at a time, and would beat Naruto down until Naruto finally unlocked the Satsui no Hado. After Akuma's beatdown by the others, Akuma started teaching Naruto how to tame the Satsui no Hado, and luckily for Akuma, Naruto didn't lose any of his defining features. Unknown to Akuma, Naruto managed to evolve the Satsui no Hado into something greater. Akuma's final test, for Naruto to fight him. Simple. No. Because of Naruto's horror, Akuma became one with the Satsui no Hado, turning into Oni. And just when it couldn't get worse, Oni upgraded into Shin Oni in the middle of the battle. Naruto was about to get killed and give in to the Satsui no Hado, when he awakened the power within him and gained the power of nothingness, and at the last second, used the Metsu Shoryuken, and then the Metsu Hadoken, followed by a Metsu Rasengan to defeat Shin Oni. Aqua on the other hand was not a fan of teaching Naruto due to him having darkness, and fear that the darkness within him will make him go berserk while she trains him. Naruto and the others did not bother her about it and went on to continue what they were doing until she finally gave in. Not only did she heal Naruto from his injuries from training, she taught Naruto light-based magic skills, and took him to a distorted reality of the Keyblade Graveyard, where Naruto acquired the no-name and 2 across Keyblades. Aqua's final test was the Mark of Mastery exam, something Naruto felt he was going to fail miserably. The first stage has moving, attacking orbs that Naruto easily destroys. The second stage has Naruto face off against Aqua, who went full Keyblade Master mode on Naruto, forcing him to combine the light and dark element to use Twilight magic, shocking and defeating Aqua. After teaching Aqua that it's not about light and darkness, it's how you use it, Aqua conceded and gave Naruto her seal of approval. Kazama Jun also took responsibility for healing Naruto, and taught him her fighting style, Kazama-style traditional martial arts. She also forced him to meditate with her scary demeanor, and showed him how to be one with nature. The consequences would be a day's worth of mediation for both, something Naruto did not want to do. In the end, Naruto and Jin warmed up to each other, making Jun happy. Jun's final test was strange in Naruto's view. It was a one-on-one fight between him and Jun. During the fight, Jun was attacking with such ferociously, that Naruto wondered if she was the one. When Naruto defeated her, purple ooze formed around her body, allowing her to get back up a second time to fight, but it was not enough as Naruto defeated her a second time, returning her to her original self. Ignoring Naruto's questions about what happened, she gave him her seal of approval and left with a smirk on her face. Morrigan Ainsland had a more hands-on approach to things, literally. She taught Naruto formal matters in all kinds of forms, and also taught Naruto the human anatomy, while flirting with him in the process. Once Naruto hit 12, she started his sexual education, and boy did Naruto hate it at first due him getting extremely embarrassed about the whole subject. That and him inheriting Q's feral nature helped a lot. Morrigan's final test originally horrified Naruto to no end. He had to take out on a date and satisfy her with the deadline being midnight. Gathering his confidence, Naruto took Morrigan to a fancy restaurant, using his own money and proving to be the ultimate gentleman. After Naruto rented out the most expensive inn-room, he and Morrigan went at it well into the night, giving Morrigan the best she had in her life. When morning came, she gave Naruto her seal of approval, as well as now officially sticking to Naruto like white on rice, much to his chagrin. Jill Valentine just took Naruto out on zombie hunting missions with her, something Naruto hated, and taught him about making and using explosives. Naruto wanted to learn her military fighting styles of CQC, close quarter combat, and Krav Maga. Jill was surprised since she believed that Naruto would have no interest since he already has many fighting styles. Then again, she did owe him one when he saved her from a supposed to be dead Wesker's improved mind control device during one mission. Shihoin Yoruichi, in Naruto's view, really put Namikaze Minato to shame in terms of speed. Yoruichi toyed with Naruto first by playing tag, making Naruto completely shred his gravity and resistance seals and pushed his advanced Hiraishin to the limit, finally catching Yoruichi after completely running out of chakra. Yoruichi then proceeded to work on Naruto's speed by teaching him her infamous version of the Shunpo Flash Step and all currently known Kido spells. She had Naruto use Shunpo with Hiraishin one time, with disastrous but impressive results. Yoruichi's final test was a game of tag, all while avoiding the wrath of Yoruichi's former partner, Soifun, and her released Zanpakuto, Suzumaki, after Yoruichi lied to her about Naruto raping her. Poor Naruto was stung all over, and was about to get hit in one of the same areas Soifun stung when he surprised both ladies by activating Shunko and tagging Yoruichi. Then it took another hour to calm Soifun down and explain the truth. While Naruto was pissed about the lie Yoruichi spewed, he could deny the results, and got Yoruichi's seal of approval, while getting her back by locking her in a room with Soifun. Tifa Lockhart, unlike the others, was pretty distracted while training Naruto in elemental spells and her fighting style. No one can put their finger on it, but whenever she comes back from the bar she owns, she has a dazed look and is real fidgety. Naruto tries to get her to talk about it, but all he gets from her is a red face and shaky legs. Tifa's final test, well, there wasn't one. Tifa was absent the day she was supposed to give Naruto his test, which was a one-on-one fight with her. Instead, Naruto goes to find Tifa and locates her at her 7th heaven bar. Naruto then notices that the hole outside was under an illusion and dispelled it to find that the famed bar was now a whorehouse. Naruto enters the place and goes berserk in it, drawing out the master of the place, who wields the manipulation materia. He brings out his top girl, who was actually Tifa, and orders her to attack. But Naruto evaded her and used her fighting style to beat the man to a pulp, destroying the manipulation materia in the process and freeing the girls. While they got away, Naruto rounded up the man and his conies, and handed them over to the authorities, giving them the shattered remains of the manipulation materia as evidence. As for Tifa, Inari orders Naruto to keep an eye on her, and gives him Tifa's seal of approval on her behalf. Lightning Farron expanded on Naruto's elemental spell training from Tifa, and taught him how to be a leader and how to use his surroundings to his advantage. Lightning takes him monster hunting, and twice she has to step in when he invokes the wrath of a larger monster. Naruto surprised her one time when he built his own gunblade that is a cross between her first two ones she originally wielded, and challenged her to a spar to test it out, which ended up with Lightning winning. Lightning's final test for Naruto was for him to rescue her sister's soul from the clutches of a revived Falsi, Barthandelus. When Naruto first sees him, he dubs him as Super Pope. Using the Super Pope's own arrogance against him, Naruto swipes Sarah's soul from his grasp and destroys him with a simple demon gun mega before he could attempt to turn Naruto into a lassie. Lightning thanks Naruto and gives him her seal of approval, reminding Naruto that he controls his own fate. Aline was the strictest, militant, and harshest of all Naruto's teachers, and spent her time every day actively sparring with Naruto in the outdoors to see if he's better than the day before to the point of exhaustion. And she's curious to see Naruto's new abilities and weapons. She measured his progress via a point system like with her other apprentices. The only mistake Naruto made was calling her fortune cookie, and later found himself on the receiving end of her wrath one time. Aline's final test was the mother of all final tests. Naruto had to fight Aline in a forest with all his gained skills and abilities until he gets 100 points. You could say that the battle was epic, and if witnessed by an audience, it could be sung for decades. In the closing minutes, Naruto outwits Aline by turning the environment against her and defeating her with a Rasengan, forcing her to submit. Wordlessly, she gives Naruto her seal of approval and whispers, 100 points, as she walks away with a smile. Now that almost all of his teachers left to do their own thing, it was now Naruto's 13th birthday, and today he was supposed to meet 2 new teachers who were born in the elemental countries. Wake up. That is, if he were to get out of bed now. Naruto-sama, wake up. AAA, what? After what I just did to try and wake you up, Naruto-sama. Naruto opened his blue eyes to find himself face to face with a cute face with green eyes, yellow blonde hair, and a pair of fox ears. Rubbing his eyes, Naruto cleared his eyes to find the fox girl straddling his legs wearing a blue and purple kunoichi dress with a flower design over a sleeveless skin-tight turtleneck, matching arm guards, red wristbands, dark purple stockings, black and silver sash with a purple ribbon, black and red shinobi sandals, and a yellow fox girl sticking out from her dress. Wah! He groaned. Who are you? Naruto-sama. Yukikaze whined. Don't you recognize me? Naruto blinked, looking at her before his eyes widened. It can't be. Yuki-chan. Yukikaze's eyes brightened. You finally recognized me. I didn't know you had a human form, he said, looking at her up and down. You never asked, which is a good thing considering my appearance. Yukikaze said, blushing. Naruto could only agree, until he noticed Yukikaze's face covered in a white substance and she had a look of lust. Yuki-chan, what's on your face? He asked slowly. Oh this. Yukikaze smiled. Just me giving you a happy birthday wake-up call. Wake up ca. Naruto suddenly realized what she did, now noticing his raging morning wood covered with what and growling at Yukikaze. Me, shower, now, Naruto said, before picking up Yukikaze, who squeaked, and took her to his bathroom. Meanwhile downstairs, the other occupants were having breakfast. Sakurai Azumi, a Hayabusa kunoichi who's a clone of Ryu's best friend's sister, Kasumi. She has the appearance a slender, physically fit and petite, well-endowed teenage girl with light brown hair with a red tint style in a low ponytail, light skin, maple-colored eyes, and wears a black kunoichi outfit with flower-patterned pants, white hand guards, and a black top with fishnet cleavage. Unlike her original, she shows no hesitation, and will fight anyone who challenges her. She came with Ryu to help him with Naruto's training, and became friends with the latter. Fujibayashi Shina, an elemental seal and summon master. She is a beautiful, well-endowed young woman with violet hair styled in a spiky ponytail, light skin, brown eyes, and wearing a light purple kunoichi robe with arm warmers over a sleeveless white corset, black pants, and light purple, blue and black boots. Despite being an excellent melee fighter, she's really clumsy. Naruto saved her from her own village and she now sticks with Naruto and helps them out like the others. And finally, Uzumaki Namikaze Naruko, a girl born from an 11-year-old Naruto experimenting with his sexy jutsu and shadow clone jutsu while trying to create the sexy Bunshin no jutsu. But Q decided to be mischievous and surged her chakra into the jutsu, knocking him out. When Naruto woke up, he found a female version of himself with her own soul cuddling up against him. She has a fiery and feisty personality, and all of Naruto abilities. Q explained that Naruko was now a summon who can be stored in his mindscape and take her place. When asked what she meant by that, she explained that she had to leave Naruto to go to Narumi and Tsubaki to recover her chakra since she spent the rest of hers creating a secondary chakra containing her chakra in Naruto. When Naruto turned 12, she left, with both of them promising that they'll see each other again, and Naruto would free Q when he's able to. You would think that Naruto would use a sound barrier jutsu. Azumi grumbled, prodding at her breakfast. Morrigan giggled. Yuki-chan's human body must be so delicious that Naruto forgot to be the jutsu. What was your first clue? Shina asked Riley, as she used one of the seals to block out the sounds of Naruto and Yukikaze's love-making in the shower. Ah, Shiger said, Naruko-chan's gone. The girls turned to find Naruko's empty seat with her half-eaten breakfast. Kinky. Morrigan grinned, knowing what Naruko was about to do. You're become such a killjoy. Azumi noted, don't tell me you're gonna do abstinence. I never said that, Tifa squeaked, turning red in 1 second. Suddenly, one of Shina's seals reacted, making her perk up. They're here, she said as the doorbell opened. The girls went to the living room with Shiger opening the door. She blinked twice, surprised at one of the people at the door. Aside from the well-endowed woman with violet blue hair, red eyes, and wearing kunoichi robes, the man besides her, despite the gruff look, he looked like an older version of Namikaze Minato, Naruto's damn father. Are you two the ones Inari sent? Shiger asked, with no pauses between her words. The others were also tense by the man's appearance. The very same. The woman nodded, smiling. I am Uzumaki Sayuri, half-sister of Uzumaki Kushina. And this man is the older brother of Yondaime Hokage, the original Yellow Flash, Namikaze Arashi. So tell me ladies, how will my awesome little nephew be? He asked, taking out an apple and taking a huge bite from it, never losing his smile. While Yukikaze was sad that this act was the first time Naruto did to her when she revealed her human form as she first feared, she inwardly admits that it was her fault for giving him a blowjob to wake him up. Yukikaze yelped at the unexpected sensation. Ah, you don't like Yuki-chan? Naruto asked in a mock-hurt tone. It's not that. It's so embarrassing. But it feels so good. Yukikaze squeaked, making Naruto smile before continuing to lick her. Ah. Now, Naruto-sama. As your eternal servant, I'll be the one that pleasures you. Yukikaze said and kissed him to cut off his retort until he pulled back. Fine, you little minx. You can be in the driver's seat, for now. Kiyomi-chan, I wonder how you're doing with Narumi. Naruto thought as his mind wandered. With an appreciative moan and without warning, Naruto came into Yukikaze's mouth, surprising her as she quickly drew back, ending up getting her fellow blonde's load on her face until the shower water cleaned it off. Naruto-sama, you came twice and yet you're still rock hard. Yukikaze complained as she eyed his twitching member. A demigod, huh? That's a bold claim. Naruto replied as he slowly entered her, making her moan. I'll have to ask about that later. Yukikaze cried out loud as Naruto broke her barrier and took her virginity, the same virginity that she was saving for him. Itai-yo, she whined as she held onto Naruto, who decided not to move until she was ready. He was considerate after all. Sorry, Yuki-chan, but rest assured, the pain will slowly turn to pleasure as Morrigan-sensei taught me. I know. You can move now. I can take it. What kind of foxy servant would I be if I couldn't? The cute and sexy kind. As Naruto started thrusting in and out of Yukikaze, some appeared over his shoulder after quietly closing the door. Sounds like someone's having fun. Naruko said, surprising her fellow blondes. You forgot to put up the sound barrier jutsu, especially when we are about to have company. Naruko scolded him as she pulled on his cheek. Ha, oops. Naruto laughed as Naruko pouted. And an even bigger crime, you didn't invite me. She whined. Sorry about that, but it is Yuki-chan's time, especially after waking me up with a blowjob while revealing her human form this morning. It'll be your turn when it's your turn. Naruto told Naruko as Yukikaze rested her leg on his shoulder. Boo boo boo. Fine dear brother, I can wait. Naruko relented before smirking evilly at Yukikaze, for now. Ah, Naruko-sama, no. They're sensitive. Aha, delicious. Naruko mumbled through her mouth. Yukikaze suffered through the Naru twins' antics using her body as they switched positions multiple times in 1 hour. They had to make their romp quick since they were expecting company. Even worse, Naruto was cheating by holding off his and her orgasms whenever either of them reached their peak, causing them to be wild. Ah, Naruto-sama, I can't take it anymore. I'm about to come. Yukikaze wailed and held onto her master. I'm at my limit as well, Yuki-hime. Naruto growled out and pounded her into the soft mat Naruko for them a while ago as the water continued to trickle onto them. As they reached their climax, Naruko reached over and twisted Yukikaze's nipples. Naruko-sama, that's going too far. I'm going to. Naruto-sama, Yuki-chan. Yukikaze climatic yell rang through the shower with Naruto grunting as they both came together, with Naruto's release flowing into Yukikaze's womanhood while her own release drenched Naruto's lower half. Panting, Yukikaze flashed a smile at Naruto, which he returned before they kissed deeply. As they pulled back, Naruko wanted her own kiss and gave Yukikaze a wet and sloppy one with dancing tongues before pulling back. We're not gonna be the only ones in Naruto-ni's flock. Soon he'll be the envy of every male in the world. Naruko started with a cat-like smile with Yukikaze nodding and grinning. Life is good. October 10th, Western Lands, Naruto Homestead Mansion, Dining Room. Naruto's eyebrows were twitching, much to everyone's amusement, as he frowned at the man who looks like the gruff, older version of his father. What really threw him off was the fact that this man is also the older brother of his father, Namikaze Minato, and he is the proclaimed, original, Yellow Flash. This was the last thing he needed after having a mind-blowing threesome with Yukikaze and Naruko in the shower, especially when Yukikaze revealed that she was a kitsune demigod. How can that be? Looks like answers are in order. So let me get this straight. You are Namikaze Arashi, the older brother of my father, therefore making me your nephew. Yep, and the Namikaze clan originally came from the Western Lands, with half the clan leaving after a betrayal, with my father going with them, ending up in Konoha years ago. Yep, with my father dearest being the survivor of what was called the Namikaze genocide, enacted by Danzo, in the name of Konoha, with my father being the only survivor at a tender young age. Yep, and to top it all up, he stole your improved version of the Namikaze's clan original technique, which so happens to be the Hiraishin you were working on, and he made it his own. Yep, well this is certainly believable, ** along with flying pigs and a tooth fairy. The table in the room went flying out the window due to Naruto's anger at this new information, with his housemates, Naruko, Yukikaze, Morrigan, Tifa, Shigure, Azumi, and Shina looking completely unfazed. Trust me Gaki, there's a lot you don't know that you'll know in due time. But for now I'll like a chance to get to know my nephew. I know my face reminds you of my foolish little brother, but at least give me a chance. We're practically family here. What do you say? Naruto grumbled, scratching his head until Naruko put her hand on his shoulder, whispering about that ability Kiyomi gave him that allows him to sense negative emotions. Naruto nodded and activated the ability, focusing on Arashi. He was mildly surprised when he didn't sense any negative feelings towards himself whatsoever. He was nothing like his good-for-nothing father. Alright fine, uncle, Naruto replied, shrugging, but I'm keeping my guard up around you. Constant vigilance. That's good, Gaki. That's very good indeed. Arashi said as he got up, I've noticed that there's a field that you and your girlfriends no doubt use for training. I'll meet you there this afternoon. With a salute and grin, Arashi used Hiraishin to leave the house, with Naruto noting that his version of the Hiraishin was faster than Minato's version and his own. Are you okay, Naruto-sama? Yukikaze asked, putting a slender hand on his shoulder. I'm fine. It's just amazing to find out that there's a family outside Konoha that is still alive. Naruto said, turning to Arashi's blue-haired companion, Uzumaki Sayuri, how did you survive the fall of Uzu? I was out of the country on a mission that time, just a regular old escort mission. When I returned, Uzu was in ruins. All of my friends, dead, with my little half-sister Kushina nowhere to be found. There were survivors, hidden in underground bunkers, but they decided to scatter all around the elemental countries. Sayuri said sadly, why didn't you go to Konoha? Shina asked. Because I didn't trust them, especially since they had those three stooges in their shinobi council, Mitokado Homura, Utahane Kaharu, and the leader of the foundation aka Root, Shimura Danzo. The former three may have been the Nadaime Hokage's students along with Sarutobi Hiruzen, but they never incorporated the will of fire like he supposedly did. As for Shimura Danzo, he had a lot of nerve to request the Uzumaki clan to move to Konoha after the many run-ins our Uzu shinobi had with his Root shinobi. That man is pure scum, and is nothing but an annoying die-hard patriot of Konoha. Danzo, huh, Naruto mused, recalling the mummy man as he likes to call him. Do you think he influenced my father? Doubtful, but I wouldn't put it past him to assist your father in what he did. Sayuri replied before looking at her watch. Well, enough life stories and speculations. Once you finish your breakfast, we'll get down to business, Databane. She has the same verbal tick as Okawa-san and Oni-chan. Naruko noted as Sayuri exited the house. Guess she really is an Uzumaki, like her, Naruto agreed. What do you think he'll teach you? Azumi wondered. There can't be more to the Hiraishin and seals than you already know, right? We'll see, Naruto said as he dived into his cereal. Training, a few months later. And so began Naruto's training with Arashi and Sayuri in Namikaze and Uzumaki-style combat and Fuinjutsu, with Naruko and the other girls joining in. While he already knows much from the books and scrolls in the clan library back in the Namikaze estate, what Arashi and Sayuri were teaching him was quite new. Naruto knew most of the basic and intermediate forms, as well as some of the advanced forms of the Namikaze-style taijutsu, until Arashi taught Naruto the true nature of their clan style. It was focused on powerful blows that are augmented by the speed of the Hiraishin jutsu. Contrary to popular belief that it was Minato or Senju Tobirama that created the Hiraishin, it couldn't be farther from the truth. The Hiraishin was actually the signature jutsu of the whole Namikaze clan when the founders experimented with Fuinjutsu until they discovered and laid out the foundation that is the Hiraishin. But in order to use the Hiraishin, their bodies had to be conditioned to the point that they could withstand the amount of G-forces used for the Hiraishin, or else the technique would tear them apart. When later generations were born later, the children were already born with the conditioning, so the problem was no longer a factor. As generations passed, the Hiraishin evolved into the fast time-space jutsu we know today, with a basic version of the jutsu being given to Tobirama Senju as a show of generosity when the Namikaze clan settlers came to Konoha. A few members of the clan decided to create different variations of the Hiraishin like the ones Arashi is teaching Naruto. Examples include the reverse Hiraishin and the advanced ones, the Hiraishin shot and the Hiraishin jump, along with others. The reverse Hiraishin uses one Hiraishin kunai to create a field that allows the user to teleport anywhere within the field, even in midair. It works to greater effect when used indoors and can be able to create space-time barriers to prevent opponents from leaving the battlefield. The Hiraishin jump is an advanced technique that is simply using the Hiraishin multiple times in midair by throwing Hiraishin kunai after kunai. This may seem like the basic Hiraishin as Naruto once pointed out to Arashi, but in fact sets up the basis on distance use for the Hiraishin via the chakra sensor implemented into the seal and helps train members of the clan to become full-blown sensor ninja at all times. Naruto was very excited at this prospect, simply because he knew for a fact his father hadn't gotten to this point and it truly made Hiraishin an army killer. The Hiraishin shot is a trap jutsu where one throws a Hiraishin kunai at an opponent to teleport them to a different location with a Hiraishin kunai paired on the same chakra frequency as the one used against the opponent. Arashi explained how this could be used to send jutsu being targeted at you to completely different areas as well as good for rescuing hostages in the midst of battle. Naruto found the Hiraishin shot easy to use in combat thanks to his creative ways of thinking, but still had a long way to go with the reverse Hiraishin and Hiraishin jump. In fact, his favorite use of Hiraishin shot was setting up a henge Hiraishin kunai near his opponent and using the opponent's own jutsu against them. His new twin sister Naruko was the same way with reverse Hiraishin and Hiraishin jump and would complain a lot on how she wanted to do long-distance surprise attacks sooner rather than later, yet she didn't let that stop her from progressing. Yo, Kit, Naruto, who was using the trees as a crutch to practice the Hiraishin jump technique, looked down to see Inari waving at him. Inari-san, it's been a while, Naruto greeted as he jumped down and landed in front of him. What's up? Got a mission for ya that I think you might enjoy. Why don't you gather your friends and I'll tell you about it? Inari said with Naruto nodding. Can you at least give me a hint at what it is? Naruto asked, but Inari shook his head. Nah, I don't like repeating myself. I'll meet you and the others at your house. Inari said and disappeared in a swirl of flames. Jerk. Naruto muttered and headed back to the mansion. Homestead Mansion, a while later. You're all here. Good, thanks for seeing me on such short notice. Inari said and looked around the living room. Naruto was living on one side of the sofa with Naruko resting her head on Naruto's shoulder, while Yuki was lying on his lap in her human form. On the other side was Shigure, who was sitting upside down on the sofa with a bored expression on her face, Azumi who was sitting on the edge of the sofa, and Shina, who was standing next to her. Morrigan was sitting on her familiars that allowed her to float, Tifa was leaning against the wall with her arms folded, and Arashi and Sayuri were sitting at the table. Inari clapped his hands. Well, onto business. Naruto, remember that Seal Yami asked you to learn and perfect the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu, 6 Paths Sealing Release Jutsu. I learned it, but can barely perfect it since you and her never told me what it was for. What is it supposed to release? I can't perfect a technique unless I know what it's for. Naruto responded, looking annoyed. Yeah, sorry about that, Kit. It's for releasing a Biju from its Jinchuriki host. Inari revealed, with everyone responding in shock. But won't that kill the host? Yuki pointed out, but Inari shook his head. Not the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu won't. This kind of seal requires a lot of chakra, can only be used by those of the Uzumaki, Senju, Hyuga, Kagaya, and Uchiha clans, but due to the Uzumaki clan mastery in sealing, it's perfect for them, and by extension, the kit. Inari explained. I understand the need to free the Biju, but why now? Did something happen, or is something going to happen soon that'll endanger them? Tifa asked, with Inari sighing and nodding in confirmation. Putting it bluntly, yes on the second part, Tiff. Have any of you heard of the Akatsuki? It's a mercenary group. What about them? Shigure said. They're more than a mercenary group, Shigure. This group's aims are to capture all the Biju to be used against the elemental countries and the rest of the world. One of their problems is that they have no plans to revive the Jinchuriki after they extract them. If they have all the Biju, they can subjugate all of the elemental countries in the world. But something tells me that there's more to this than that. Naruto said as hundreds of ideas crossed his mind about this situation. The infamous Uzumaki intuition strikes again. You're right, Kit. My guess is that they're planning to merge the Biju together to revive the Jubi, their original form with more power than any of them combined. Sounds scary, Naruko said, shivering and holding Naruto's arm tightly, with Naruto stroking her hair to calm her down. Why is a simple group of S-class missing nin pulling a stunt like this? I don't see them cooperating for a project like this. What's their endgame for reviving Jubi? Arashi wondered. Don't know, but there's no way we're waiting around to find out. Uzumaki Namikaze Naruto, Uzumaki Namikaze Naruko, Yukikaze Panetona, Sakurai Azumi, Kasaka Shigure, Fujibayashi Shina, Tifa Lockhart, and Morrigan Ainsland. You'll be going on a little road trip around the elemental countries to collect 8 of the 9 Biju from the Jinchuriki. Kiyomi will have to stay with Narumi and Tsubaki to reverse the damage her chakra might have caused without her being in either one of them. Inari said with Naruto nodding in understanding. When do we leave? Tomorrow's preferable, but I think it would be best to wait until the end of the week. The Biju fall under Yami's jurisdiction, due to them mutating from pure chakra beasts to Dai Yokai, and or Kami and Shinigami doesn't want to take any chances. Also, Inari handed Naruto a scroll. Use this once you extract the Biju. This'll open a portal that takes them to Kami's realm where Yami will meet them and take them into her custody. Any questions? Nope. I'm just looking forward to seeing how the elemental country's been since my absence. Except Konoha, of course. I'm not ready to head back just yet. Naruto commented before speaking to the others. Come on. We head out tomorrow. Naruto and his team filed out of the living room and headed upstairs, leaving Arashi and Sayuri. Are you sure about this, sending him back to the elemental countries so soon? The Chunin exams aren't until a few more years. Sayuri noted. After watching the Akatsuki's movements, I've decided that they're too much of a risk to have running around once Naruto strikes back against Konoha. The earlier they get taken out, the better. Yami-chan and Shinigami-chan agree. Inari explained as he sat on the sofa. Besides, something tells me that if they take control of the Jubi, it'll result in the unsealing and revival of an even bigger nightmare. Who? Uchiha Madara. How much of a threat can he be if he couldn't defeat Senju Hashirama? The Sharingan may be powerful, but all it relies on is direct eye contact for it to work. Plus, it can't copy every kind of jutsu. Urashi said, having encountered many Uchiha who fell before him in his Hiraishin skills. Uchiha Madara. Ha, that bitch is nothing compared to the rabbit goddess. Inari countered, making both Urashi and Sayuri stiffen, both recognizing the title. The rabbit goddess, as in Utsutsuki Kagaya, the ancestral matriarch of the Uzumaki, Senju, Uchiha, Hyuga, and Kagaya clans. Utsutsuki Kagaya? Sayuri asked, paling. Correct, Inari said, nodding and looking grim. Cue camera close-up as Urashi summed up the possible situation in just 2 words. Kurigakure, the village hidden in the mist, located in the land of water. If one would describe how the Biju retrieval went in the past few months for Naruto, Naruko, Yukikaze, Shina, Azumi, Shigure, Tifa, and Morrigan, it was either hell or peaceful, depending on the Biju and her Jinchuriki. Yep, all 9 of the chakra beasts turned Dai yokai were female, due to their original form, the Jubi, being female, but more on that later. Flashback. First stop. Sunagakure, the village hidden in the sand, located in the land of wind. In Suna, their Jinchuriki is Subaku no Gaia, the youngest daughter of the Yondaime Kage, who specializes in gold dust that he controls with his magnet-style Kekkei Genkei. From what Team Naruto learned after a day in the village, disguised as random tourists, the Yondaime Kage had Shukaku sealed inside Gaia so she could be the ultimate weapon for the village, due to the Wind Daimyo cutting down Suna's budget and instead using Konoha less expensive services. Because of this, Gaia's experience was no different than Naruto's, getting treated like crap, despite having a family that consisted of her father and her 2 siblings, Temari and Kankuro, the former doting on her more than her father and brother since she actually cares for her. But the breaking point was when the Yondaime Kage had Gaia's caretaker, Yashimaru, the brother of the 3 Sand siblings' mother who died after giving birth to Gaia, try and assassinate Gaia, but failed when Gaia's sand protected her and was killed by it while revealing the truth. This caused Gaia to fall into despair and transform into Shukaku, who tried to escape Suna with her container, but was stopped by the Kage. Now Gaia turned dark, caring for nothing but herself, refused to sleep, and killed to prove her existence. Dividing into 2 teams to strike at night, Naruto, Yukikaze, Shigure, and Tifa formed Team 1 that would lure Gaia a few miles out of the village, while Team 2, Naruko, Azumi, Shina, and Morrigan would stay behind to provide several distraction long enough for the other team to secure Shukaku. Team 1 found Gaia sitting in her favorite spot in the village, looking up at the moonlight. She's 4 feet 9, has long auburn red hair with reach down to her back with bangs in either side of her face, pale blue-green eyes with tanuki-like eye rings, fair skin, the kanji for love on her forehead, wearing a black shirt with mesh underneath, a white cloth around her waist with a brown sash that secured her gourd on her back, black shorts that reach mid-thigh, and black ninja shoes. The mission started with Azumi hitting the Ninpo, Rage of the Mountain God, in an unpopulated area of the village, to attract the attention of all the shinobi in the village. It worked, with Team 2 hiding to create some more hit-and-run distractions, while Naruto changed into Yashimaru to attract Gaia's attention. It worked like a charm, with Gaia seeing red and giving chase after him, with Yukikaze, Shigure, and Tifa following closely behind. An hour later, Naruto got Gaia far enough and avoided her killer sand attacks while undoing his henge at the same time. Gaia was shocked and finally listened to her mother, who was telling her that she was being had when Naruto, Yukikaze, Shigure, and Tifa surrounded her. Gaia went on the attack, but couldn't do much when Tifa zigzagging around her attacks and kicking her high into the air before following after her and punching her back down to earth, giving Naruto enough time to activate the water style Stormy Blockade Jutsu to summon a torrent of water from the sky and chained it with the Great Waterfall Vortex Jutsu to spread the water across the field of sand, drenching Gaia and the sand around her to make her sand abilities useless. At her mother's urging, Gaia used the Forced Sleep Jutsu, but was unable to complete it due to Yukikaze hitting her with Shatter Shot energy blasts before Shigure bound her with wire from her throwing weapons. Multiple fire jutsu suddenly shot into the sky from Suna, letting Team 1 know that their part is done and they're retreating to the rendezvous point. Naruto then hit a terrified and powerless Gaia with the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu and safely extracted a yellow orb that was Shukaku from Gaia. Upon extraction, Gaia was severely weakened due to her fruitless resistance to Naruto's Fuinjutsu, and Shukaku formed into a miniature version of her Ikibi form before transforming into a cute young woman with dark brown wavy hair that reached down to her back, golden yellow eyes with dark pupils, a busty figure with light brown milk chocolate skin, and wearing a gold sleeveless tube top with a hole that showed her that connected to flowing pants, with no footwear on, leaving her barefoot. Naruto was about to summon his chakra chains just in case she had a psychotic break, but it wasn't necessary as Shukaku explained that the priest that first sealed her seal caused her to be dangerously psycho as usual and lost her mind. When Naruto freed her with the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu, it broke the seal that the priest stamped on her, and now she was fine, but still psychotic. She then spoke to Gaia, apologizing for her role in Gaia's suffering and Suna for being a Jinchuriki, and things would have been different if she never encountered that priest and she wasn't so crazy like she was in her hosts' heads. After Shukaku blessed Gaia with some of her power by adding another chakra network with her chakra within her, Naruto summoned Yami, who then took Shukaku back to her realm just time as Naruto and the others left a wearily Gaia who was found by her brother and sister seconds later. When Naruto, Yukikaze, Shigure, and Tifa met back up with Naruko, Azumi, Shina, and Morrigan, they headed south towards Iwa, where Yonbi and Gobi are located. Second stop, Iwagakure, the village hidden in the stones, located in the land of Earth. Luckily for the group of 8, retrieving the Yonbi and Gobi was a walk in the park, through a fog of hot steam with puddles of lava that is. Infiltrating the village was a tad difficult, but getting the information about the Iwa Jinchuriki was a breeze since the citizens enjoy talking down about them when they're not talking about anything else. Roshi and Han, the Yonbi Jinchuriki and Gobi Jinchuriki respectively. They live on the outskirts of the village, away from the people of Iwa by the order of the Tsuchikage until they are needed. Like guard dogs. With the information at hand, Naruko, Yukikaze, Shigure, Azumi, Shina, Tifa, and Morrigan made their way to Han and Roshi's lair to retrieve the Yonbi and Gobi. It was a good thing that they're several miles away from the village, which gave them plenty of time. Upon entering the Jinchuriki's domain in the forest, it didn't take long for the group to find the duo due to the latter coming to them. They weren't hard to spot, as one was really tall and heavily armored with a straw hat and kimono, and the other had red hair, mustache, and beard and was wearing a casual shinobi outfit. Seeing them as reasonable people, Naruto told them that they're there to extract the Yonbi and Gobi, Son Goku and Kokuo, without killing them and send them to Yami as ordered by her. Not believing him of course, Han and Roshi attacked Naruto and the girls. The steam was scalding and the rivers of lava had them sticking to either the trees and/or air until they could formulate a plan. They endured the heat for 15 minutes until Tifa pulled the most craziest stunt no human could ever achieve. She ran across the river of hot, boiling lava without chakra and dropkicked the hell out of Roshi, stunning him for a bit, but the surprise assault was enough for the others to start counter-attacking. Naruto used wind style. Great breakthrough to clear the area of Han's steam while Tifa punched a hole in the ground, with the lava flowing into it to reveal the scorched earth beneath. Roshi was about to attack again when Morrigan used her tentacle wings to lift the lava user into the air to take him out of play temporarily. Han went on the offensive with his steam armor and charged at them, with Naruto, Naruko, Azumi, and Tifa countering him with coordinated melee attacks. They had problems, but they managed to distract Han long enough for him to trigger Shigur's trap she set up, trapping him in steel wire before Shina's mystic arte, quasi-seal, engulfed and stunned him. Naruto, Naruko, and Yukikaze then surrounded him, with Yukikaze hitting Han with a Kai blast from behind and Naruto and Naruko incapacitating him with a double Hiraishin Rasengan each, knocking him against a tree and breaking it upon impact. Then, Morrigan slammed Roshi down with her Vector Drain Piledriver. Roshi tried to lash out with a lava-style jutsu, but Shigur's ninja tools interrupted his hand signs. He then evaded Tifa's final Heaven Punch, but ran right into Azumi's Torn Sky Blast, with Naruto knocking him out with a Hazama-style high kick, sending him soaring through the air. When he came back down, Naruto blasted him with the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu, and extracted a red orb as Roshi fell down. Naruto then turned his attention towards Han who was getting up, and used Hiraishin to close the distance, using the Raikudo Fuinkai Jutsu on him as well, and extracted a white orb from his body. Both now former Iwa Jinchuriki were now severely weakened just like Gaia was due to the extraction, and the orbs formed into two figures. Son Goku formed into a mini version of her Yonbi form before transforming into an adult woman with ankle-length light mallow hair with black markings on her bangs, yellow eyes with white irises, a curvaceous figure with tan skin, and wearing a small orange tank top with a dark blue undershirt beneath, a red belt, and orange baggy pants with no footwear. The most noticeable aspect of the undershirt was how it seemed to have an opening going through the center allowing her chest to appear bare if not for the tank top concealing her. Kokuo formed into mini version of her Gobi form before transforming into a mature-looking young woman with long waist-length white hair with shorter bangs in a home style with light brown at the end of her hair and bangs, dark blue-green eyes, a slender figure with pale white skin, and wearing the traditional attire of a Miko consisting of a purple Hakuma, a white haori with a sash-like belt, and wooden sandals. Sun and Kokuo nearby blasted Naruto and the girls to Kingdom Come with their respective Bijudamas until Naruto quickly summoned Yami, who neutralized the attacks and then through her divine presence was able to calm the two Biju down. After explaining the situation, the Biju and the now former Jinchuriki said their goodbyes after the Biju did what Shukaku did for Gaia by giving them an extra chakra network with their power. Yami-chan, why are the Biju giving them their power? Is it because of their bonds with their Jinchuriki? Precisely, my avatar. Besides, they'll make great allies for you in the future, as well as the Biju once they're settled in. Carry on. Right. Come on, girls. Third stop. Takigakure, the village hidden by a waterfall, in a country between the borders of the Land of Fire and the Land of Earth. Getting the Nanabi couldn't be any easier. Well, kinda, as Team Naruto's mission turned from a retrieval mission to a complete rescue mission. While gathering info around the village about the Nanabi Jinchuriki and learning that she was a kunoichi named Fu, Naruto came along some disturbing information while talking with a relative of a member of the Taki Council, and what made things even worse came after Naruto relayed information that Fu was treated like an animal, lived within the forests of Taki, and had no free will whatsoever through the use of a seal placed on the spinal column at the base of her neck. It was apparently a stolen Uzumaki clan Juinjutsu used on only the worst of criminals that directly tied into the nervous system of the recipient, making it so any direct order must be obeyed under potential threat of pain and even death. Long story short, the council overruled the current spineless leader of Taki and decreed that she was going to be used as a breeding factory to produce powerful shinobi for the village. The person who came forth with the information was apparently supposed to be the first suitor in the council's ploy, and while he was drinking in his excitement at getting his chance to tame the beast, he let slip everything. Unfortunately, the blabbermouth wouldn't get the chance as he was then immediately killed by Naruto. Naruto then called upon the girls, and had them spread out to search for Fu. Several hours later, Azumi found Fu, who attacked her with her favorite spear upon being spotted by her. She's 5 feet 1 inch tall, has short spiky mint green hair with an orange clip, orange eyes, chocolate brown skin, a slender figure with a medium C-cup bust, and wearing a short white sleeveless midriff shirt with mesh armor underneath, long white armlets, fishnet shorts and a short white apron skirt over it, and white ninja sandals. Azumi initially had difficulty with the Nanabi Jinchuriki until the others arrived to even the odds. During the fight, they tried to tell Fu about the village's future plans for her, but she wouldn't believe them, as she had promises and her trust betrayed too many times in the past, as well as the issue with the seal making her immediately attack all those who come to her without using the proper hand seal that allowed her to accept orders. Worse yet, Fu's commands were so that she was made to attack any intruders by calling upon Chome's chakra to aid her. Despite that, she was no match for Naruto and the girls' teamwork. Yukikaze burned the trees with her foxfire to ground Fu while Shigure led Azumi and Shina to harass her with long-ranged attacks. Naruto played defense with his hard light shield against her spear while building up chakra, with Morrigan and Tifa interrupting her critical strikes so Naruto's shield could recharge whenever it shattered. Thanks to the Raikudo Fuin Kai seal, the Juinjutsu on Fu was also safely removed, albeit at the cost of Fu being completely immobilized for some time. Before Yami could be summoned, the group is accosted by Taki Shinobi, who were instantly killed by Chome. The group ran for it before any other Taki Shinobi could intercept them. As they ran, Chome turned into her Biju form and allowed everyone to hop on her back and flew away. Once they were away from Taki, they landed in a village that was recently attacked and still burning. Chome returned to her human form and as she held a still unconscious Fu close to her, watched as Naruto, Naruko, Yukikaze, Azumi, Shina, Shigure, Morrigan, Tifa either run or fly around saving the villagers and putting the fires out. Afterwards, there were barely any survivors, and those survivors pinned the blame on one of their own who defended herself with unique crystal powers. Having enough of her own power shunning her, she joined Team Naruto as they left. After a day of flying, Chome landed in a town near the border of the Land of Lightning, and after blessing Fu with her power, went with Yami after Naruto summoned her. It was then that the team decided to take a 2-week break in order to integrate Gurren and Fu into their team, getting to know them and their abilities. Fourth stop. Kumogakure, the village hidden in the clouds, located in the Land of Lightning. For once during Team Naruto's mission to retrieve the Biju, there was no fighting village shinobi or Jinchuriki. It was actually quite peaceful. When the team investigated Kumo, they were both shocked and surprised to discover that the Jinchuriki were being treated like normal human beings. Kumo did not follow the other villages' ways in how a Jinchuriki should be treated, deeming it inhuman and unnecessary. Skeptical, Naruto headed to the one person who would make such a thing possible. The Raikage of Kumo, and when they got up to the Raikage Tower to meet him, he wasn't alone. Arashi and Sayuri were there too, along with a rapping Kumo shinobi. Unlike the other idiot cages in the other villages, the Raikage believed that a Jinchuriki is still a human just like any other human, and should be treated as such. His belief was stronger because his surrogate brother Killer Bee, who was the rapping Kumo shinobi in the room, was a Jinchuriki, the Hachibi Jinchuriki. Arashi and Sayuri however were surprised to see Naruto and his team, and were glad they stopped in Kumo when they were around. They explained the situation to the Raikage and what Naruto's team was in the village for. The Raikage was skeptical himself, due to the fact that they weren't the only ones after the villages, Jinchuriki. Just as the Raikage mentioned this fact, Naruto and Naruko suddenly sensed Biju-level chakra flaring near the borders of the Land of Lightning and went to investigate. When they got there, they saw Kumo's other Jinchuriki, Niyugito, getting defeated by 2 members of Akatsuki, the zombie duo Hidan the Jashin priest and his partner Kakuzu, the multi-heart bounty hunter. Before the two could retrieve the Nibi Jinchuriki, Naruto, Naruko, Yukikaze, Azumi, Shina, Shigure, Morrigan, Tifa, Fu, and Gurren interfered and ambushed the zombie duo, catching them off guard and forcing them to retreat after blasting 4 of 5 of Kakuzu's hearts and beheading Hidan, who was still alive and his head and body were grabbed by Kakuzu while retreating. The Raikage was bummed to see the 2 Biju go, but was confident in his brothers and Shinobi's abilities to get them through into the future. After Gyuki and Matabi gave Killer Bee and Yugito a chakra network with their power, They left with Yami, with Matabi vowing to come back to hang out with Naruto, for she has become quite smitten with him just like Yugito, who requested to join Naruto's group to help them. The Raikage was about to decline when Yugito enforced her request with the dreaded puppy dog eyes jutsu that got him to concede, much to her delight. Afterwards, Arashi used one of his many Hiraishin abilities to teleport Naruto and the girls into Kurikagure in the Land of Water. End flashback. Kurigakure, the village hidden in the mist, located in the Land of Water. So, this is the Land of Water. It's quite misty, Naruto noted before sniffing in the air, mixed with the scent of blood. According to Arashi-san, there's a civil war being waged here, coined as the Bloodline Rebellion. Apparently, the Mizukage sees those with Kekkei Genkai as abominations and wants to wipe them out. Yugito informed her new friends as they walked. Which is weird because the Mizukage, Yagura, is a Jinchuriki like we were, so isn't that a bit hypocritical? Fu added as the other processed this information. In a sense, it is. There's no way someone like that would just up and decide to wipe out those with a bloodline. Naruto agreed. Sounds like this Mizukage has been whammied. Tifa noted, making the others look at her strangely, you know, under the influence of something, or someone. Also sounds like a genjutsu to me, which is also odd considering that this Yagura has a Biju in him, who can dispel genjutsu like the others. Azumi pointed out, no doubt it's a high-powered Sharingan on par with the legendary Uchiha Madara. Anyone in Konoha you know during your brief time there? Shigur asked quietly. None who I can think of. Since we're making waves by taking the Biju and freeing the Jinchuriki, whoever it is knows we're coming for the Sanbi in Yagura, and will be there waiting. How can you be sure, Naruto-san? Gurren asked. Because if I was in the suspect's shoes, that's what I would do. Naruto responded, but for now, we'll save the Sanbi for last. And go for the Rokubi. Naruko finished. That's the plan. Naruto confirmed, we just have to find this, Utakata-san first. Morrigan-sensei, can you cover us from the air and let us know if you see anything? That'll be great. Sure thing, dearie, Morrigan said, giving Naruto a kiss on his whisker-marked cheek and took to the air. I know we're after the Rokubi now, but we should plan on how we're going to retrieve the Sanbi afterwards. Tifa started with Naruto nodding. Simple, Tifa-sensei. We join the rebellion carrying our powers and skill, and end the civil war in one swift stroke. Naruto said with conviction and sniffed the air, oh boy. What's wrong, Naruto-sama? Yukikaze asked, seeing Naruto's eyes wandering with Naruko looking around. We are not alone, Naruto muttered quietly, Morrigan-sensei. Oh my, it seems you are what I predicted you would be. Morrigan said playfully, a regular lady attractor. Morrigan-sensei. For once, be serious instead of horny. Naruto groaned while Morrigan giggled, where is this, lady? More like a young woman. She's a quarter-mile away. Shall I intercept? Please do. We're stopping here. They all came to a halt and got into defensive positions. Does Morrigan know who's tailing us? Azumi asked, with Naruto nodding before they heard a crash followed by a loud scream, never mind. It's Naruto-kun's chick magnet ability at work. Oh come on. Really? Naruto complained after facefaulting as Morrigan arrived with their pursuer. She's a young kunoichi nearly Naruto's age with dirty blonde hair, green eyes, fair skin, and wearing a plum kunoichi outfit with a black wrap around her making her bust more pronounced. She's cute. I like her, Morrigan said and licked her lips. Easily Morrigan-sensei. Now, who are you, and why are you following us? Naruto asked the kunoichi. I'm Hotaru, formerly of the Tsushigumo clan. Are you the rumored group that are not Akatsuki who are safely removing the Biju and sending them away? Shikunoichi asked Toru. What if we were? Naruto countered with a raised eyebrow as the girl sighed in relief and dropped a bombshell. My Oni-chan. He's burdened with the Rokubi. I can take you to him. Please save him.